I tell people I have a podcast, the first thing they ask me is what it's about. I always bust out the old monologue from season 1. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur who came out of her cannabis closet and has been blazing through life ever since. What I don't get to say is that I talk about real shit, real people, real situations, the weird stuff, the funny stuff, but also the really fucking tough stuff that nobody wants to talk about. And I do it by keeping it real. I go through life dealing with situations with humor and sarcasm, for sure, because I think people are living life too seriously. I try not to let tragedy and setbacks define me as a person, but help shape the next adventures. And I don't let anybody take away my free will to live life joyfully. 85% of the time, I'm high, pissed off, ranting about something, but I always do it with humor. And when you have one life to live, I feel you just have to use your humor. I've never been an it girl, never the pretty one, never the chosen one, always the least supported one of the group, the different one, the black sheep, if you will. But I came out here with literally nothing, and I'm turning my life into the empire I've always dreamt of having. I own 6 very, very small businesses, but I have 2 beautiful children, the best husband you really could ever ask for, and I'm just out here doing it. I do what I want when I want. If it doesn't work, I learn from it. I move on. If people no longer serve a purpose in my life, I cherish the memories we have, but I no longer put in the efforts that I won't get in return. And I want to make it clear that I carry my experiences, good and bad, with me every single day. I choose to share these experiences so I can help others, and I won't be part of the dynamic where I shit on other women or I keep my mouth shut when people have treated me not only poorly, but inexcusably so. So my story's my story, my people's stories are their stories, and no one will ever tell me which part of my story I can and cannot share. If you treat people like shit, expect to hear it back and expect that you'll be exposed, because I'll never cover up for you. And I really feel we've entered a world where people aren't covering up for people anymore. With that being said, I'll always remember how everyone has treated me, and this is the Stony Baloney podcast. With that being said, today's guest is someone who is very intuitive, an entrepreneur herself. She went through a divorce while she had to battle the most terrifying and biggest challenges of her life with relationships and cancer. She's fought hard to be here today, and I can't wait to continue to be high with her together and have conversations. And most importantly, I want to introduce her as a friend, because she is my friend, owner of Luna Body Adornment. Please give a warm welcome and a hard puff puff pass or pineapple to Maria.
What's up? I'm so happy to be here with my homie, doing this podcast today, talking about all the things. I mean, can we please also bring back the People magazine? Remember, we used to read People magazine together high on the front porch.
Maria had a People magazine collection. She had all the magazines.
All the ones.
And I used to always come over, because this is when I was in my almost 30s, divorced, living at my parents', not comfortable going. So I was always out. And I was always at your house.
Yes.
I spent the night at your house.
Yes.
You had like a hostel.
Yeah.
She really did. She had many roommates and stuff through the years. That she did.
Yes, I did.
But I felt like that was very emotional.
Yeah, it was like our bond time because it was always just the two of us reading People magazine together.
I was talking about my intro.
But that also.
I feel like that was a very emotional, and I smoked.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't going to read that.
Right, but you touch on a lot of key points about your life in the current state that it is, where you are in your life now versus even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the journey that you've made to be now where you are here, sitting in this room doing this podcast.
It's weird how much our lives change. And I've read in the past, I forgot which book, probably Steph Speaks, because that's all I talk about. It's the only book I've ever read. Just kidding. But that explains how past lives are basically how our past memories are of different times of our lives.
Right.
That's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That blows my fucking shit. I've been doing some fucked up shit lately. I've been obsessed with 9/11 stuff. Kenny walked in the bedroom the other day and he's like, I think you should stop watching this. I'm like, I don't fucking know why. Every time this time of year I watch it.
I think, too, for us in our generation, when that happened, it was a pivotal point in our life, right? You're coming into like this pseudo-adulthood phase of your life, and it changed the way that we viewed everything. So I get why you feel that way.
I did a catering order for my remote job that I had, and somebody there is doing a project for the 9/11 museum. And I just thought that was the coolest shit. And he was telling me that when he was a kid, he went there, and he was telling me about the windows and like how when you get to the windows, you could look straight down all the way to the ground, like even 100 floors up, and how it just made your stomach weak, and how wonderful of an experience that was as a kid that age. And then when 9/11 happened, he lived in Boston, so it hit him really hard that that could have been him at the airport. And it hit him that he had stood in those buildings, and to know how huge those buildings were, how the views probably were, the whole experience, and then that those buildings just don't exist anymore. And then just picturing and seeing unfold what actually happened. He got to go out and meet the people of the museum. They gave him a tour. That's cool. Emotional for him, I'm sure. Somebody who was a guide in the trade centers gave him a tour, so like even more.
Right.
But it makes me want to throw up. So I have been falling asleep watching this shit. And
just like docuseries.
Yeah. And I had a dream where I was awake. So when I was dreaming, it was me standing in the window of the Trade Center with the smoke and the heat. And I could feel the heat in my dream. And I could feel that the smoke was like pounding me. And it was almost like there was just like a silence. Like it was just me in this window, and like it was chaotic but not chaotic. Like I knew that everything, like it wasn't good around me, but I was keeping myself. And I just remember like just gray sky. And the other part of me heard Gabe crying in the next room. And at one point, I think I was even awake with my eyes open, but still standing in the Trade Center. And when I woke up, my fucking anxiety for the next 5 hours, because here at the same time, you're very aware that there's actual reality happening right now, and you have a baby in the next room and it's crying and you can't wake up because like, but also you're standing in the window of a fucking building.
Right. It's like sleep paralysis in a vivid dream.
It's fucking insane. And that is what I think the other side is. The more intuitive I get as I get older and I pay attention to those things and I listen to those signals and signs, like that's what I get drawn to. And I feel like I obsess. I have a really good night or day, and I'm thinking, I just love my fucking kids. Kenny's cool too. Like, I like my cats, my dogs, and my businesses, and my friends. And then, like, fuck, everyone's getting old. Like, these people are passing away. These people are just a memory. Am I gonna forget them someday soon because it's been so long? And then I think back, like, man, it really wasn't that long ago. Like 10 years ago, I saw my grandma last. And then you just start going in this panic and spiral and start freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then now my fucking chest is in my fucking whatever, my kneecaps, and I want to pass out thinking about it. But that's just every day for me.
Girl, I feel you. And I mean, you think about that stuff, right? Like, who's going to take care of my kids when I'm not here anymore? You know, what friends am I still going to have in 10, 15, 20 years, right? You think about all of those little what if scenarios, but at some point you can't let it draw you in. Like, it's good to think about them. It's healthy to think about them. But the more that you dwell on it, and that's something that I've truly learned in the last 5 years of my life, is that you cannot sit with that and marinate in it. You got to just think about it and then be like, okay, I'm in the here and now. I need to come back to that and not dwell on what's going to happen in 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
It's sad thinking about who was here and who's not.
Yes, absolutely.
But in the map of our universes, those people are the ones that needed to be there at that time.
Yes, I fully believe that.
You went through this bad shit with this person because that's who needed to teach you that lesson.
Yep. And
the most important part, did you learn your fucking lesson?
Right.
Or are you back to square one?
Right.
Because I really can't believe that I had a lot of things wrong with me. First off, financially. Like, I'm not good now. People think you have a business and you're just rolling in money.
Right.
You don't have an overhead. My favorite is when people are like, oh, I really want to come in and order something, but you know, we don't have any money right now. But then you see them, like, they're buying this, they're
going to movies and going to concerts.
Buying purses, getting their hair done. You know that shit costs $400.
Right.
Right. So the sandwich, basically, I'm paying you to eat my sandwich still, because I'm still not, like, big enough to where we're able to keep stuff in.
Right.
And the only reason that is because we don't have a babysitter.
Right.
And I'm not doing that shit with the baby anymore.
And I think people don't realize that as entrepreneurs, right, you have to take time to invest in your business, build your business. It's not automatically wildly successful. You're not making thousands of dollars a week, and it costs money to build a business. It costs time to build a business. So, like, I give you credit because I don't know how you do it.
Well, I think 5 years ago, even though I did it for a little bit, I couldn't do it on my own. I had to have another income, which is fine, especially if you like where you're working.
Right.
But as soon as it starts getting, cut the fucking cord. Because that's just when things spiral. That's when you leave on bad notes.
Yes.
And, you know, I see people that they devote fucking everything to businesses, even great businesses and bosses. Great places, like, you never know what could happen. You never know if someone's gonna pass away, if they sell the company.
Right. You get taken over by another company.
And then you're just devoting all this time and stuff. But, like, for what? When you work for other people, they always have a hold on you. And I don't want anyone to have a hold on me. I don't want anyone to tell me how much money I can make. Like, I just want to go and do it. But I needed to work at other places because I realized how I've been broke my whole life. And it wasn't until the last 5 years where I really started making money.
Right.
And I kicked myself in the ass because I just left the probably best job working for someone else I'll have. maybe not. I find a lot of good things.
You do. You really do. They always fall in your lap at the right time.
So after I've suffered long enough, they're like,
right.
here
The
you
universe
go,
says, "Here,
fine, fucking bitch,
silver
fuck
platter."
you. So I just, I know what it's like to make the money, and now I used to pay bills late. I used to always be behind. I used to buy shit that I shouldn't have bought at the time. I don't do that shit anymore.
Right.
I'm working on my fucking credit. I'm paying shit ahead of time if I can, especially if I got it now and I have a bad month.
Right.
Right now we're trying to figure out, we pay rent at 3 fucking places. Our rent went up at some places. And some people don't know that there's laws and you can't just raise rent like $400.
Right.
Like, I don't think New York State, it's like $50 a year or something.
Yeah, there's renters' rights. There's renters' rights on that.
And it's recently changed. So
Yes.
people got to be aware that we like all of our landlords. So if we know that if they have to, like, it is what it is.
Right.
But there's people out there that whatever, but we're trying to figure out these things. I did have an income coming in all the time. Now I'm trying to figure out to fill that income. And we got to a point right now where, Kenny's at the airport and he doesn't want to work nights. He says he will. Sorry, I'm into this mint.
Girl, you get that, man.
He doesn't want to work nights. I understand. However, I'm fucking tired. I held a baby in my body for 8 months, and it was a rough 8 months. The minute I was pregnant to the minute I wasn't, it was fucking rough. But I still fucking did it.
Yes, you did.
I wouldn't say I worked super hard because I really didn't work a lot, but my body physically would not let me. Like, every time it walked, it felt like Gabe was about to come out. I was in a lot of pain. But also, I was dealing with high blood pressure and didn't know it.
Right.
To the point where usually if women have preeclampsia, not all of them get a magnesium drip. I had a magnesium drip for like 4 days. I couldn't walk by myself. I couldn't hold the baby by myself. It was like I was fucked up on. It's like how I'm in that dream state.
Right.
So we're fucking trying to figure it out, but I've made the changes. I know what it feels, and I know all right, catering's slow this week. Catering's slow this week because I want it to be slow because I'm
right.
painting. So I keep getting calls for orders, and I hate turning them down, but I also can't have people. I gotta stop fucking with my microphone. I'm high. I'm sorry. Scott's probably in there stop
what
fucking touching the fucking mic. So I just gotta figure that out. But enough about that. I want you to tell me and the people listening what you do.
What I do, I poke holes in people for a living, and it's awesome.
So
I'm a piercer by trade. I also do tooth gems, and I'm about to launch permanent jewelry here very shortly. And I just love adorning people, making them feel badass, making them feel more beautiful. I work in an amazing studio with my cousin at Creative Inking, and Leroy, come check us out. And it's just been a really nice journey being in an artistic environment for the past 11 years.
I would love to work in a tattoo shop.
Dude, it's so fun.
Do I not have tattoo shop person vibes?
Yeah.
I wish there was something I could do there.
I mean, I started literally as cleaning and just talking to people at the counter, and then it became paperwork, and then it became a little bit more and more managerial. And then after my divorce and beating cancer, I finally caved into my cousin and said, yeah, I'll start piercing. And it's been awesome.
I pussied out.
You did.
That was the only time I've ever gone for a tattoo and a piercing, and I pussied out.
Well, you picked a very painful piercing.
And it makes me mad because I feel when, tribes are big on piercings.
Yes.
And
body modification.
And whatever. And I just feel like I see myself with a septum piercing.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll ever do it.
We'll do it. We'll figure out how to do it.
I don't think I can. She sat with me for 45 minutes. I'm a germaphobe, and I held someone's hand that I didn't know.
Yeah. For that whole 45 minutes.
Because I wanted to do it so bad, and I was trying to hype myself up, and I just couldn't. And it was the worst part, because it was the clamp. The clamp is the worst part.
It's tight.
Needle. After, like, the needle's nothing after that, right?
Yes.
Well, I just couldn't. And I've seen that you can do it without the clamp.
Yes.
Which is the most popular way.
Yeah.
I guess, whatever. So, yeah. I pussied out. But Maria's going to I'm hosting the first Oktoberfest.
Super pumped.
At Glow Motel and the Deli. I don't know if anyone knows what the Glow Motel is.
Oh, you should totally rep that. Let people know what's going on.
Has it been that long?
No, a couple months, maybe.
Well, I don't think I've been in here for a couple months.
Let the people know, Heather.
So I wanted to talk about you. So save your thoughts. Okay. I've decided that with the deli, with the airline catering, I'm painting this week, just pulling some wallpaper off that's been there for probably 20 years, got myself in a project, trying to spice the place up, give it the enthusiastic that I want.
Yes, aesthetic. Aesthetic. Yes.
So that I could start renting the space out. Going to all the weddings lately, I already do showers and weddings, so why am I not helping myself add on services for what I'm already catering for?
Correct.
I want to offer a linen service, decorate tables, shit like that.
Centerpieces.
And I have so many creative friends like yourself and whatever that I can hire to 1099 sometime if I need to and be like, hey, this is what we need. Like, do your thing. How fucking fun would that shit be?
Yeah.
I really want to find something that all my friends can fucking do.
Right.
And that's kind of like Glow Motel, because anybody can like rent out the Glow Motel too.
Pop up in there.
And like that's my thing. Like I like to help other fucking people. I've been turned down by business people we know, artistic people that I was going to pay them to do something and they kind of just like ghosted me. And then I seen that they did it for like all these other people and I'm like, why would there be bad blood? It's not like I know them, it's whatever.
Right.
They just don't want to do your project. And it's like, people remember that shit. There's anyone who thinks that you just make all this money right away when you own a business is fucking shot. I don't know why people try and fake it. Sure, there's a handful of people, but
fake it till you make it.
I fucking hate fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fake it to make it. I don't got time for that shit. Because guess what? When shit gets real and you need help, then you got some explaining to do.
Right. Listen, you know I have always been of the opinion that homies rep the homies help the homies. If I'm coming to your business, I'm spending my money. I'm sending my people to your business, right? Perfect example. We just took my aunt and uncle to Peter's restaurant. My aunt and uncle have a house in Cuca. Now they're going to tell all their friends about Peter's restaurant, right? Because they had such a great time and a good experience there. That's what it should be. Hey, I know someone who does amazing spray tans or who does photography or can help you host this party, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I'm always repping my friends and my family first before any other outside parties.
And that's all you have to do. You don't have to even go to the service. You don't got money? That's cool.
Right. Hey, check out my friend. It's simple.
We always end up going to Smokin' Pete's. It's a little harder for us to get out there now with the baby and
like
whatever. But we went for our anniversary this year, which was nice because I'm fucking mint. It's 5 years of the wedding.
Yep.
And we got married on a boat in the middle of Canandaigua Lake. We set up tents at Peter and Maeve's house. They did some barbecue and whatever, and we all camped out. I'm pretty sure there was like an acid tent and stuff. Like, it was just a great low-key time. And we've gone to all these really nice weddings lately, and I'm like, oh man, like, if But it depends, because I feel like a cobblestone wedding, I feel like that is my wedding if I'm like super romantic with somebody,
Right.
and I'm comfortable. Like if my parents are at the wedding, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable pouring my heart out in front of like everybody.
Right.
Kenny and I are not very affectionate in public.
Except I was there for your first kiss.
So I think my favorite thing about that whole thing is, one, I told Kenny, I just want to go get drunk and make out with someone tonight.
And then you did.
And then I did, and it was Kenny, and I like wasn't expecting that at all.
No.
Nobody was expecting that.
None of us sitting at the table were expecting that.
I don't think anybody like in their right minds was like saw that one coming.
No.
And it's crazy to think back 10 years on this.
Right.
But the next day, hungover as shit, that time of where I would stay at Maria's, I went home that night.
You did.
But I came back the next day to be hungover because I think my parents were home and I just needed to be fucking hungover in peace.
And be
like an adult.
POS on the couch.
So everybody came over that day and everyone's chilling, and it had been like what, like 2 or 4 o'clock or something.
Yeah, it was in
like
late afternoon.
We were all chilling for a few hours, and then fucking our friend Zach comes in the room, and
Big.
he sat down for like a couple minutes, I feel like. I don't know if it was like a couple minutes or if he was there for maybe 20 minutes or something. I feel like it was quick, though. He came in and then he made a comment like, do you remember you sucking face with Kenny all fucking night or something? And I was like, oh my God. I think the whole day I was like, did that really happen? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I feel like I knew, but I didn't know. So then when Zach said that, I was like, fuck. My driver's license was in the bush out front. That was the same day, right?
Yeah, was it to do?
So
And now look, here we are.
I said,
Married with 2 kids.
I said that Maria's intuitive as and we've had some paranormal parallels, which the most recent one we can't talk about. But the first one we can kind of talk about and say that I was staying at her house. The person who was one of the people living there at the time was not there that weekend, but they went to see a medium that weekend.
Yes.
And wanted to connect with her dad who had passed away.
And I wasn't even at my house.
She was on the other side of the state.
I was in Cuca.
But you also saw a medium that weekend.
That is correct.
I stayed the night, and Jeremy was in the basement. I was in the other basement because it's one of those split
You were in
level
like a rec
houses.
room, like our little rec room area.
And I remember waking up because somebody was sitting on the end of the fucking bed. And I literally just got a chill in my spine because I can fucking picture it. I felt the person lifting off the bed and go up the stairs. And I was going to piss my pants. And then the next day, this fucking bitch, I asked her if she talked to Katie, I think.
Yes, because you called me in the morning before I went to my medium. And you said to me, listen, this happened. Like, what do you know about this? And asked if I had talked to Katie about what she experienced at her visit with the psychic that she went to, because she went to a psychic. And I remember calling you after I went to my medium. My medium is amazing. I love her. I've seen her for many, many years. And I walked into this woman's office after it was like 25-minute drive after I got off the phone with Heather. And I walk into this office and she says to me, there's someone here that doesn't belong to you and we need to address them and figure out why they're here so that they can leave the room and all of these other spirits that are here can communicate with you more effectively. So she starts talking about it and I wish that I had a video of my face when she said the following to me, that this person is sorry that they scared your friend. They were just trying to check on their daughter. And I literally probably ghosted White when she said this to me because, okay, I literally had this conversation with Heather minutes before I got into my car to go. And then she says this to me. And I'm just like, holy fuck.
Didn't you say
Holy
she
fuck.
said something about somebody was like sitting on the stairs?
Yes, she told me that in her like office, she had like a little side step, and she said that this person was sitting on the stairs. They were like kind of sitting off to the sideline, but that they were distracting her from everybody else in the room. And I'm that freak that like records my sessions because she lets me record my sessions. So I like went back after you and I had that conversation and was like, okay, was I just tripping? Like, did she really say what I thought she said, or was I like processing correctly?
Because
and
you
that
go
is
through
exactly
a
what
lot.
happened.
When you do those, it's a lot. It's not
They
like you
spitball.
just... Yes.
So yeah, that totally happened. And then I called Heather and I told her, and
That makes me want to throw up because
I get chills
picture
still.
it.
I get chills still.
I fucking picture it. Well, so this was like a totally different time of both of our lives.
Yes.
I had just started dating Kenny, and Maria was in a different relationship at the time as well. And Maria ended up going through a divorce, but she also was diagnosed with cancer at this time. So can you tell me and everybody about your breast cancer journey? Because I just had a breast cancer scare, and it was a fucking very hard. It wasn't even that long. Like, I felt the lumps. I started feeling them for a couple days, and I was in the shower, and I don't know, it's like you're scared to touch. Like, you're afraid of like what you could feel. So finally I'm like, all right, I gotta feel. And I was like, fuck, like, and I feel two things. So I went to the doctor, I got a physical, and I went right away. I went the next day.
You and I talked about that, and I said, you gotta go.
I feel in my younger days, I didn't like worry about things more, but I know we're getting older, and you know, I want to live till I'm 102. 102 is it. Mm-hmm. And I want to be here as long as I can for my kids. And she said, I feel them too. They feel probably benign, but we still want to get them looked at. I went to the cancer center the next day. It's very emotional because you're sitting in a room naked in robes with a bunch of other women of all different ages, and you know you're all in there waiting, like you're all feeling the same thing. Yes. It's a fucking lot. It's
a weird trauma bonding experience with strangers that you'll probably never speak to in your life.
Because it's all mental.
Yes, 100%.
And you're just sitting in there, like, even if you're on your phone, you're aware of everything that's going on in that room.
Especially for people like you and I, who are empath people and can pick up on others' emotions. That made it even harder for me going through it.
See, all those words confuse me. Like introvert, extrovert, I'm the one that's in the middle.
Yeah, you're an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, but isn't that called some kind of vert?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Question. Let's look it up.
But there's the empath, and like, what's the opposite of that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
So anyway, I'll say, like, I'm not really convinced, only because I realize there's a difference between dense breast and whatever.
Yes.
And that when you have dense boobs, it's harder for them to see things.
Yes.
And they couldn't see the second one. So they were just saying that's probably just like a harder part of tissue.
Yeah, fibroid adenoma, they call it.
But I'm like, I don't know. I feel that one was like weirder feeling than this one. So did it just move from the 2 days that we were there or something, and they just can't see it or whatever? The mammogram, like, that didn't hurt. That wasn't scary or anything. Some lady gets to see my fucking stretched out pancakes.
Right. Shout out Elizabeth Wendy Breast Center.
Yes, that's the best.
So nice. Everybody there is always nice.
Good experience. They got me in. I booked the wrong date. I booked 2 weeks out. And because of I guess there's, like, if you just want to get your breast checked, maybe not so serious, get you in the next day. Right. But because the doctor felt too, they made it work. They let me stay. My phone was dead. They plugged it in for me, gave me cords. Like, it was a very whatever experience. But when I came out of there and they told me that I was good, but I should get checked more regularly because of how much I just bawled in the car because I was like, not all of those people are coming out with the same answer today. And it was the most fucking emotional roller coaster that whole fucking week. And I just, like, can't imagine. And I feel so many people our age are diagnosed. So tell me.
So I was going through already a tumultuous time, as you know, finding out that my ex-husband was having a little affair on the side. But when it came to my cancer, I got told over the phone because I wanted to know as soon as possible. So I had gone into my OBGYN, who is fantastic, Dr. Klimek. He is the best of the best. And I already had fibrous tissue on the one side, right? So he's like, listen, you're 39. I don't want to wait until you're 40 to check this. I just have this feeling like I just want you to go and get checked. And had he not sent me, we would have been in a very much different situation.
Yeah.
So they found it on the opposite side of what he had sent me in to check.
Weird.
So, like, total fluke. Man saved my life, literally. Had I waited the year period of time, the surgeons and the oncologists and radiologists all told me the same thing, that had I waited, it would have been stage 4 and it would have been way bigger of a carcinoma. So, like, I'm truly thankful every day that I have medical people that I trust, that I feel comfortable being open with, and that advocated for me.
And it could spread that fast, and you can catch it so late.
So late. Also, firm believer that the amount of CBD products I use, the amount of marijuana I've smoked over my lifetime contributed to how small my carcinoma actually was and was keeping it at bay. So I found out in May of 21 that I had breast cancer. Sorry. And it was a hard phone call to get, because you always hope that it's not you, right? Like, you see it and it affects people around you, but you never think at that age that it could be you. And this time it was. And then you start going through all of these processes, right? All this blood work, all these doctor's appointments, meetings. And what did it for me, and when I really started to get, like, emotional about my cancer, because I was so focused on my divorce and everything that was happening there, that I couldn't really process what was happening to me physically, right? But the first time it really hit me was the first time I went in for chemo. And I walked back in that room, and there was a little girl in the room. And she was probably like 10 years old, getting what they call Red Death. It's a ported chemo. And you just stop, and it changes your whole outlook on life. And like you said in your intro, like, what's valuable to you, right? The people that serve you, the things in your life that serve you, your family. You know, it changes your perspective on everything, your relationships. Sorry. It's not easy. Cancer is not easy to talk about.
It circles back also, though, like, you were going through divorce and that terrible, like, time and all the emotions.
Yeah.
But circles back to certain people are put in your path.
Yes, 100%.
Because I feel like that had to happen, and then you found another relationship that supported you probably better than that support you would have got with the first one.
I truly, Heather, and I've said it to multiple people, after coming out the other side, and don't get me wrong, I'm still getting a lot of medical stuff happening to me. There's a lot of side effects. There's a lot of drugs still, even 4 or 5 years down the line, right? I'll be in this for another 8 years with medication. But you look at these people that surrounded you, right? And the people that were there for you, people like you and Kenny, I can't even tell you, I could not have done it by myself because it does take a village. And I truly look at what happened to me as a gift. People say, oh my God, it's got to be so sad. How do you feel about it? And how do you feel about your divorce and all of that? And I constantly tell people that was a gift. It was a present from the universe to me, because I truly believe that the universe is never going to do something to you that is not your purpose. And I felt like that was the way of the universe purging my mind, my body, and my soul of everything that did not serve me. The people who did not serve me, the cancer that did not serve my body, the partner who was no longer serving my love. And it was truly a gift.
I don't think we were there for you like we could have been. But I
don't feel that way.
You can always call me and I'm going to answer.
Right. I don't feel that way. I mean, I knew regardless of who was at my house every day or who was texting me every day or who was calling me every day, I knew who I could and who I couldn't.
And I also don't want to overdo it. You don't want people overly, because when you're going through that, you also want space.
Yes.
So if I don't talk to you 20 times a day normally, then I'm kind of going through a lot right now. Right. Kind of give me some space.
Right. It's the simple things, the check-in. Hey, how you doing good? Do you need anything? I'll be in the area. Do you want me to stop by, visit? Whatever. And it was hard too because it was very early post-COVID, right? So COVID was still a huge thing that was happening. I ended up getting COVID during chemo and had to postpone and prolong my chemo because I got COVID. So it was a whole to-do. But, I knew at the end of the day who my village was. And I look at the people that maintained in my life, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for those people.
So you also have dealt with PCOS.
Yes.
And there's a lot of women, especially in our age group, that struggle with pregnancy. There's, I know a handful of people who've had stillborns. I've known twice as much people who have had miscarriages.
Ectopics.
I know people who've had to go through 40 IVF treatments. I know people who don't want anything to do with having kids. I know people who wanted to have kids and now their views on it have changed, or vice versa. So I feel, though, there's a strong part of people that deal with and struggle with PCOS every day, and now that it's the fucking mints in my mouth, I gotta fucking keep them out. They deal with that every day, and it's a struggle. And when it comes to fertility, sometimes women are not comfortable talking about it, whether they feel embarrassed, or they haven't come to grips with it, or sometimes it's hard to say out loud because then you're admitting that there's issues, and
it's fear of feeling like a failure, right? That you did something or put something in your body or something happened that caused you to be this way.
Which sucks because I don't think anybody in your life who truly cares about you and love you even looks at it that way.
Right.
They think it would be foolish that you would even feel that way.
And I think it's so widely untalked about, wildly underdiagnosed, wildly advocated. So I struggled with it even after my cancer stuff, like they took my fallopian tubes immediately because the breast cancer I had is a pathway to ovarian cancer, right? So they're like, let's just take that out of the equation altogether. But even after that, I still struggled. I still had all of the symptomology of the PCOS because I still had my ovaries, ladies. So you can still have that, right? So I ended up getting a full hysterectomy. But I know and can very honestly speak to what it's like living with PCOS. And it's not fun. And it's different for everybody. But it's painful. It's emotionally challenging. It's traumatic in some ways. And the only reason I found out was that I had a cyst that burst. And I literally ended up in the emergency room bleeding out, having to get a blood transfusion. Because I didn't know at that time in my life how important it was for female care. So it was random. And then after that, I was like, I need to go to the OBGYN. I call it the crotch mechanic. The crotch. I got to go in for my oil change, my tune-up, right? And started really advocating for myself in that area. And it really changed the landscape of how I lived the rest of my life.
It changed the landscape in a few ways, I'm sure.
That's a whole fact.
So during your struggles, fucking Mitt, I'm taking it out. During your struggles with the PCOS, did you want kids?
I did. We tried for like 2 or 3 years avidly to have children and figured out that this was the cause of that.
Yeah.
Because you can still successfully have children with PCOS. It's obviously like any other situation. There's grades to it, severities to it, or whatever. But I did want kids. Honestly, at this point, thank you, universe. Glad that did not happen for me, because then I would have been tied to my ex-husband for a very long time. But I obviously have children like your children who are like lights of my life.
I could see you and Jeremy adopting. I feel there's so many people in your lives that would want you guys to be godparents. The only problem with that is that something happens usually to the person. We don't want that to happen.
Right.
So I've had a lot of dental problems. I've had perfect teeth, and this is like so hard for me, but now I've been struggling. I've been fighting with dentists. Mm-hmm. I've lost a couple of teeth because I couldn't get in. And my biggest mistake was, for some reason, thinking you can only go if you have insurance.
No, you can go without.
But you're not going to be able to afford it without insurance. Right. And now I've been going, and I found somewhere that I trust, mm-hmm. and I'm doing it out of pocket. And I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Right.
But, you don't know. This is the stuff they should teach us in fucking school.
Right, in high school, right? I don't need to know how to write a check.
I don't remember shit that I learned. I wish I learned all that stuff in my 20s.
I wish they still taught cursive too, but that's neither here nor there. But you're not wrong, right? The life skills, right? You think about life skills and what you learn, and a lot of it you have to learn as you go. And that's why, when I was going through my cancer journey, I was so very public about it. You read all my posts on social media about it. I was very public about what was happening. I didn't sugarcoat how I was feeling or what I was going through. But the biggest thing for me was reaching out to all of these other people that were close to me and in my friend groups, and even people that were on the fringe of my friend groups, to advocate for themselves. If you're feeling some kind of way, you need to call your doctor. I'm the first person to tell somebody that now, because you never know what they're going to find or what's going on. Is it a big problem, a small problem? Huge advocate. Take care of problems when they're small, ladies, please.
I have a mole that I have to have removed.
Go to the dermatologist.
I already have an appointment, but melanoma runs in my family. I clearly loved the fucking tanning beds in my 20s and whatever. So I'm a little nervous because for the moles, there's the A to F's of moles or whatever. And my checkbox for every single one of them is every single one of them. I've had 2 removed before, one at the tip of my nose, which is weird because when I got it removed, I feel like it changed the way that I looked. It was just weird. And but anyway,
Like your profile?
Yeah, because it kind of like made my nose have like this little
flip up.
But you didn't really see it wasn't really easy to see it, but it was kind of like weird. And then I had my one on my kneecap done. It was like the worst fucking pain ever. And now I'm terrified to go. But somebody said, like, I think it just
like
depends on. I got it done in California, and I'm assuming someone maybe they didn't numb it or whatever.
Probably.
I think they gave me the numbing shot. The numbing shot what was fucking hurt, but they're putting a shot in your fucking kneecap.
Yeah.
And this is by my belly button, so I'm fucking like throwing up. I pushed the appointment back, but I'm like, I can't push it back again. Like, I need to get it taken care of.
Take an emotional support friend with you. Truly. Like, that was something that I didn't get to do because, like I said, it was post-COVID, so no one could ever come in with me.
Were you
I got
able
dropped
to
off
talk
at
to the
door.
little girl? Were you able to talk to her?
Yeah, I sat in the chemo chair next to her.
Did they let the kids have, like, a parent or something?
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Fuck this.
Especially in the chemo room, right? Because you have everybody in there and they're immune compromised. So you don't want to do anything to change that scenario in there where you're putting someone else at risk. So even after I got done with chemo, I still had to go and get other infusions and shots and drugs and stuff, and I had to keep going into the chemo room to get them, and it's triggering as fuck. Like, it's traumatic. You walk in that room, you get flashbacks of you being there, and like you see all these elderly people that are at the end term of their life and these young kids who are just starting their cancer journey, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Not to change the subject, but on the way here, we got mixed in a little bit of a traffic jam, and I'm not gonna lie, I fucking got really fucking high. I took one hit. It was my first. Actually, it wasn't my first hit of the day, but
sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's a one and done.
I was so high one day when I was trying to pay Scott. And it was after the session, so like it's an hour's already gone by, and I'm still this loaded.
I wish that we could see his face while we're talking about this right now.
Yeah, usually he chimes in. He didn't chime in at all today. It's fucking mint. So he had all of his staff in there, so I was like, I don't know. I'm usually not back there, so I'm out of my fucking element. I'm fucking high as shit. He's on the phone, and he kept telling me to like. Giving me the signal, like, hold on, I'm on the phone. I still just kept talking to him. I kept forgetting. And I think at the end, he was like, are you okay to drive? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Good, dude. Good. Professional.
I thought I was going to pass out on the way here. But I've been getting some good shit. I've been loving Evergreen Retail. And I've gone to a couple places that are little small shops recently, and I regretted. I walked into Evergreen. I said, I'm sorry, I cheated on you. It's not cheating. There's lots of great dispensaries around here and stuff. So, and they all got their shit in all the places. Right. There's a very few that are legal. So, lots of great places lately. I forgot the fucking one I'm smoking right now, but it's like an immediate high. I feel like a lot of weeds lately that you get are
creeper.
And this is like instant.
Yeah.
I just coughed it down my it got stuck in my throat.
And you coughed it back up. I saw it happen.
I sucked it up, shot it out, and then it's in my dress. So I'll have to get it at the end of the show because we only got a few more minutes anyway. Yeah. But speaking of dental work, I went and I got dental work done the other day, and I took Valium. I don't think I needed the Valium. I felt like shit for days after, like out of commission, really felt like shit. Everything triggers my migraines. So like I just had a migraine for 2 days. And I was still anxious. So I think I'm going to tell the doctor next time, just give me a couple Xanax.
Right.
I fucking love Xanax. Just give me a couple fucking Xanax. Although
I love weed.
I love weed. I'm not a drug person.
Weed.
We actually were
What a world we live in, Heather. Weed is legal. We are in a legal state. We have amazing marijuana laws, great dispensaries. I love Evergreen. I have a couple friends who work there. Love Evergreen. My wonderful boyfriend works at Cesco in East Rochester. They're all real chill. They get great products.
We're going to stop there on the way home.
Yes.
But also, I want to point out all the people that when I fucking came out of my cannabis closet and I was putting that I was smoking weed on Facebook,
like,
and my dad's freaking out, my mom's freaking out, my neighbor's freaking out, this kid from high school's freaking out, everyone's freaking out because Heather's smoking marijuana on Facebook. And guess what? All these people that didn't want to work with me because I was open about cannabis, and now what? People be giving me shit. They be giving me marijuana. I walk into smoke shops. Sometimes I get really cool merchandise from places. Sometimes I get weed from places.
Pineapple bombs.
I've got now grandma down the streets calling me, hey, where can I get this CBD cream? I'm the guy. And now the places that wouldn't partner with me because I talked about marijuana and they didn't want me to, how can you not partner with me? Because I'm open about smoking weed, which I do, which is legal, but you can post a picture
of you shit-faced?
And like having a drink in your hand.
Right. Or smoking a cigarette.
I'd be
coked out.
I'm just so happy that my children are growing up in a home where they don't see me. Yeah, they're probably going to know what the smell of weed smells like. Ooh, it's not like I'm smoking a blunt and blowing
passed
it
out
in
in your
face.
own vomit from being so drunk.
They're not sleeping and I'm just baking out the fucking bedroom or something.
Right.
Like I'm fucking it is illegal. And I still find a hard time smoking weed in the comfort of my own home because I don't want to go outside and blow it in the neighbors or in the landlords.
Because we have been in our generation so conditioned that weed is bad. You're going to get in trouble. It's bad for your body. It's bad for your mind. You're just going to be a dumb stoner. Like, remember the commercial back in the day where the girl all slimmed on the couch? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs, right? Drugs, you know, like that was conditioned into us. And I think that a lot of it is because people didn't know the science, right? Like, look at Charlotte's Web. This beautiful
like
piece of marijuana research that helped a little girl not have seizures. Like, people just don't want to believe that there's goodness in it because they only look at the stoner, dumb, loser, no job having mentality where we can sit in this room, both of us, avid marijuana lovers, connoisseurs, users, promoters, who both have their own entrepreneurial businesses, are
moms,
functioning members of society, moms, aunties, like... Wake up, everyone.
But people don't like the smell of it.
Which I get.
So when I'm like smoking at my house, like I won't even go on my front porch because I don't want it to loft up into like my neighbors. Or
do we got to bring back the 90s spoofs?
I think so.
Where we're shoving...
How am I going to spoof my pineapple?
We're shoving dryer sheets into a toilet paper too.
How am I going to spoof my pineapple? Dude, I fucking took an edible at a funeral a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know the person that passed away. Unfortunately, it was my friend's mom. I just realized I was talking really far away from that microphone a lot of that time. But I went to the funeral, and I took an edible, and I got fucked up. Like, I didn't know
what a place to be fucked up.
But, well, it was at Allegiance, so people are drinking and stuff.
Okay, so you're talking like the after, not
but
like you're going, not like you're going to the viewing.
When you smoke weed, you are in a different environment. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's a challenge. I personally like that fucked up challenge. I like being fucking tripping out. My sunglasses have the coolest filter. It's like the 90s. I trip out. They're fucking sick. I want to make them. But no, I was just having a time, and I felt like I knew Helen. Like, man, Helen, fuck yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah, Helen. I didn't know you, but now I know you.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. And I'm like, oh, this friend's single. Maybe her cousin and her would be a good hookup and whatever. Like, I was just
Marijuana, bringing people together since inception.
It's about celebrating someone's life. Right. They don't want you fucking crying.
Right.
They want you to be happy.
Right.
I got a little...
Have a party.
Yeah.
There's a do not invite list, but please have a party.
Man. Well, Maria...
Heather.
I think we should have a part 2 someday.
100%.
Thanks for coming on.
Love you.
Thanks for getting me here.
Blue Barracudas.
You didn't find my inhaler on the way here.
I was in the front seat. It's probably in the back seat.
So we could have died on the way here because I almost passed out.
I have a backup inhaler. We're good.
I don't share.
Well, if you were dying, you would share.
She also smoked my bong.
I did.
I'm past the point of puffing, passing these days, but she smoked my bong. But thanks.
I had to get in the pineapple mood.
Let's stop at the smoke shop on the way home.
Cesco. Yeah.
And I'll tell everybody what I got when I go there.
Yeah. Peace out.
Peace out.